This week on Cafe Chats with Nick, we get a first look at Fred's life and what his philosophy is behind PCA. So what was your original vision for PCA and where did that idea stem from?
Well, 10 years ago, we set out to have a place where all different kinds of artists could come together under one roof and grow and produce art in one place. So that's where the idea of having dance, music, and theater all together came from. We really wanted to have it be a high energy place where people would walk in the door and would feel like they were in a really cool place, a place that was just really alive. And we work hard every day to keep maintaining that and growing that, and it's evolved over the years. I mean, we started at one place. We started renting a room in a small theater in the town for like 4 months while we were renovating the warehouses. And then we moved over to the first phase of what was renovated, and then it just grew from there. So it really, the main vision was to have creative energy all in one place from all different performing and visual arts.
Right. Awesome. What would you say inspires you as a person?
What inspires me? It inspires me to see other people passionate about what they're doing. I'm inspired when we as an organization can inspire others. So that charges me, it gets me going.
Yeah.
When I see that a program taught someone something they didn't know, instilled something in someone that they didn't know they had in them, took a young person or an adult that maybe felt that they weren't successful in other areas of their life, and that they came there and they had an opportunity to win and to be successful and to have a victory in something. And that is probably the #1 thing that gets me most excited about PCA, is being able to walk in the door and see hundreds of people on a regular basis coming in at all different levels, all different ages, all different backgrounds, and being able to be inspired.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how long has Premier Center of Arts been open?
We just celebrated our 10th anniversary, so we've been open for 10 years.
10 years, and that's a decade.
10 years is a decade.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody's clear about that. What are 3 things you can tell our viewers that people don't know about you? 3 things that people don't know about you.
3 things people don't know about me. My favorite kind of movie is science fiction.
Science fiction. Okay, what's your favorite? What's your favorite science fiction movie?
My favorite science fiction movie is probably The Matrix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I like any science fiction.
What's number 2?
Number 2 is I have a pretty ridiculous amount of shoes in my closet.
Okay. What's your favorite pair? If you had to pick a pair.
My favorite pair...
And how did it start? How did your shoe collection start?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was on a mission to have every color high-top Converse sneaker.
Did you achieve the goal?
I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And sometimes I would wear one of each color.
Really? Oh, nice. Okay.
It was the 80s.
And number 3?
Number 3 is the first instrument I played was the organ. And my major when I went to college initially was as an organ performance major.
So what made you choose the organ? Because I don't know many organ players.
Yeah, you don't.
It's
a dying art form. Well, when I was a young lad, when I was a young boy, my dad presented me with his accordion. Because when he was a child, he grew up in Little Italy and played in an accordion band. As equally nerdy as playing the organ, I suppose. But he presented this to me and was all excited that I would now have this, and I didn't want to play the accordion. So I guess the organ was the next best thing. So I played the organ and yeah.
Awesome.
Performance major.
Okay. Cool. Premier Center for the Arts right now has its main location in Middletown and then 2 satellite locations. One in Oxford, Pennsylvania, which was just announced recently. It will start in the summer. And then we have the other location, which is in Dover at the Schwartz Center for the Arts. What other places do you see or do you want Premier Center for the Arts to expand to?
Well, our satellites are based on partnerships, so we work with organizations that are looking to add programming to what they're currently doing. We're open to talk to anybody who's interested in the programming. The idea would be to have satellites all over. We have 2 more places currently we're talking to in Delaware, and then another place in a state much further away that we're working on that will really come to fruition probably this June, and we'll be working on those details, and then once we have them solidified, we'll disclose that.
Nice. And what, as far as when you're first starting with a program at these locations, what is the beginning program that you like to start with to test basically? Or
the program we typically start with is musical theater ensemble. It's one of our biggest programs in our theater program. It's a Glee-like program that is musical theater review oriented, so they do a lot of musical staging and singing and dancing.
Cool.
And it's all ages. It's from 5 years old all the way up through adult.
Nice. What do you see in the future for PCA, for Premier Center for the Arts? What do you see in the bigger outlook?
Well, we definitely are going to build a theater.
Yeah.
It's in our plans. We need a larger space. The space that we're using was actually initially a student workshop theater, and we now do all of our productions in that space. So we're ready to do that. The space we currently have is 8,000 square feet with 14 studios, have a cafe, retail store in the theater, dressing room space, all of that. We now just recently acquired the property across the street, which is another building, as well as more parking, and our current customers will be able to start enjoying that very shortly. But building a theater is probably the biggest thing on the list.
Alright, so as we wrap up, I have one last question. This is the question that everyone has been waiting for. It's the question of the year. What is the story behind your beloved dog, Skittles?
Skittles has been with us for 3 years. He's a rescue. He came from the Humane Society. And he was in a really abusive situation for the first part of his life. And the one thing we didn't realize when we got him is that he has separation anxiety, so he has to always be with someone. So he's at PCA all the time, and he's kind of become a fixture there.
Well, thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is it. Bye.